Hey everybody, KC here. So, listen, we're all conscious of all the supply chain issues that are going on out there. Lots of coverage of it in the media. Um, but just for a second, a couple of things I'd like to talk about from the consumer point of view. Right now, I was in various stores over the weekend, and I have to tell you, I mean, it's even despite the fact that I read a lot of the coverage, it actually is surprising, a little shocking even, the degree to which there are empty shelves and empty sections in an awful lot of stores. And I think that the retailers and suppliers, but especially in this case, retailers, should be careful not to underestimate the impact that this could be having on their shoppers. I think in some ways this is a real challenge to brands, and I'm talking both retail brands and CPG brands, right? I think that when people go into stores and they can't find what they're looking for, well, first of all, if they see an alternative to a brand they've traditionally been bought, I think it's entirely possible they're going to try other brands, right? And that can be good or bad depending on where you are in that particular continuum. But if they're not finding the product they need in a particular store, they may go to other stores if it's a product they really, really want. I'll give you a quick example. I really like this new product Chobani has come out with. It's vanilla oat yogurt. I really like it. The problem is the store that I found it in the first time doesn't seem to have it anymore. I tried a couple of other stores. They didn't have it. Then finally found it in another store. Now, I'm not sure I'm going to change my particular shopping habits, but people will if they find a store that's going to be just as easy, maybe have more products they want. They may be willing to change the stores where they shop more easily than in the past. And I still think in some ways it's difficult, but this can be an opportunity for retailers, right? Most consumers don't really understand the whole supply chain issue. If they're aware of it at all. It's funny, I have a 27-year-old daughter, and we talk about supply chain issues here all the time, and she gets frustrated when she goes to the store because she doesn't completely understand why certain products just are nowhere to be found. When she talks to friends that are roughly her age, they get frustrated, and they don't have the kind of understanding about it that she does. There's a real opportunity here to start informing people about why these supply chain issues exist, whether you're using signs, you could be doing handouts when people walk in the store. A lot of retailers have video screens in various departments of their stores. They could be using the opportunity to explain to people why certain products are out of stock, why certain products are hard to find, why certain products are hard to source. And sometimes it's going to be problems at the supplier. Sometimes it's going to be a problem in terms of transportation. But there's a real opportunity here to explain to people what the problem is. And if you explain to people what the problem is, you are suddenly going to be perceived by the shopper as being on their side. And that's really, really important. Same time, like checkouts, right? So many retailers are having a hard time in terms of just keeping staff in the store. First of all, there's an employment issue already. Second of all, people are still getting sick from COVID and are not able to come to work. It seems to me there's an opportunity here. Again, through signage, through videos, whatever it happens to be, explain to people why. If you have 12 checkouts, only 4 of them have people working at them. If you explain to people what's going on, I think they're going to be more patient. If you say, listen, I know this is hard. We're doing our best. We appreciate your loyalty. We appreciate your patience. Hang with us. We're going to make things better as fast as we possibly can. That's going to be a compelling message. I'll go back to something I said some weeks ago, and I got a lot of blowback on it. I still think there's an opportunity there when there are products that are out of stock for retailers to say to shoppers, listen, we don't have it now. If you'd like us to put your name on a list and let you know when it comes in, we'd be happy to do that. Yeah, it's not always going to be the easiest thing to do. There are probably all sorts of logistical issues involved, and maybe there's software involved. And yeah, I get it that it's complicated. But at the end of the day, all you really have is your shopper. Everybody talks about how that's the most valuable asset that you have. So maybe people ought to start actually treating consumers like the most valuable asset that they have. Listen, is going to take months probably to get through. And it's a real problem. But I think retailers can be reactive, and they're going to have to be reactive to a certain degree. But they also can be proactive, to use a word I actually hate, proactive about dealing with it and letting consumers know that they are on the shopper's side. Do that, and you can start to mitigate, I think, some of the negative impact that's going to come from the supply chain issues that everybody's facing. Anyway, that's what's on my mind this morning. And as always, I want to hear what's on your mind.